Okay, also, if you guys have questions, you guys who are on Zoom, as always, you guys can use the chat bar. You can feel free to interrupt me because that's the best way to get my attention is just to interrupt me. Just start talking and that way I'll hear you. That's my family. For you guys that haven't seen, probably seen a picture on Schoology of my family. That's my wife in the middle. That's us going on a date the other day. Actually, that was yesterday. Still trying to find ways to get out and about when we can. Those are my boys on the left. That's my oldest, Elijah. He's been reading a lot of books lately. I recommend if you guys start doing some reading, take advantage of the extra time you got when you do. And then on the right, that's my youngest son, Isaiah. He's been doing a lot of flips, cartwheels, and all kinds of stuff. So that's what he's been doing every day, keeping us busy. All right, so when we Zoom, we're going to Zoom every Tuesday. So if you're in Group A, which is the few students that are in class, you guys obviously are just here. But you guys at home who are in Group B, C, or D, or you're just distance learning, will always Zoom. So I apologize about last week. Some things happened and I just wasn't honestly prepared. But every week we will have a Zoom because what we're going to be doing is touch and base, going over some announcements. We'll do some notes. I'll give you guys the opportunity to ask questions. By the way, period five does Zoom Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you would like to join those Zooms on basically Wednesday or Thursday, you feel free. So that's you guys too. If you want to come into the Zoom for period 5, which starts at 12 o'clock, you guys are totally can do that. I basically go over more notes on those days. It's just for period 3, I don't require it because period 5 is set up a little bit differently because every student in that class for period 5 is distance learning only. So that's why we Zoom that many times. But if you guys at home who aren't here and you guys in class, that would be you, want to join those Zooms on Wednesday and Thursday, feel free to do that, okay? So we usually go over notes and go over questions and that sort of thing so you guys can get some more help, all right? So basically, I follow the school schedule. So period 5, they're doing it at 12 because they go from 12 to 55. And then you guys, period 3, you guys are at 10:30 on Tuesdays. That's why we go by that time, okay? Just to respect other teachers in case like other teachers are doing Zooms and that sort of thing so we're not like conflicting. Okay, so first thing is I want to go over like some assignment issues that I'm seeing, which is common. It seems like a lot of you guys are kind of used to it now, especially if you had like Miss Ferlin or Mr. Rodriguez or Mr. Kershaw, you kind of know what's expected. When you guys see assignments like this for Delta Math, please make sure that you're paying attention to whether it's asking for a picture of your work. Okay, so every time you guys do a Delta Math assignment, I'm always asking you for this screenshot. So this screenshot right here showing 100%, always put that. Okay, and then if you see the second part of the instructions say take a picture of your work in your notebook, make sure you're doing your work in your notebook as well. So for example, over here to the right, there's a completed, that's what it looks like when it's completed. It has a green check. It says 100%. You take a screenshot of that, post it to Schoology. Then take a picture of your work. So this is an example of someone taking a picture of the work using their Chromebook. Try to get the picture to be as clear as possible. If you guys do it when there's like no lights on, or you're doing it like with all the curtains like closed, when it's at night, that's usually not the best time. The more light you have on that paper, the better. So like, don't have your back to a window. Face the window. If you face the window, there's more light on the paper. So the more light you have, the better your picture and the clearer it'll come out. Okay. Also, don't be like too far away as well. So make sure it's clear. If it's not and I can't see anything, like most of the time I can make it out, but if I can't see anything, I will put a 0 and I'll put instructions in there, say, hey, please resubmit a new picture. And when you put a good picture in there, then I'll give you guys the credit, okay? All right, so again, here's an example of someone submitting work. So here's a nice clear picture. They've numbered everything really well. They put all everything kept nice and neat so it's easy to see their work. Also, if you guys look up here to the right, you'll see that my name is there, just like I asked, then the date, and then their name is written there. I blocked it out, but that's what I mean. Okay, so that's a good example of submitting work. So make sure we're doing that every time I ask for that, okay? Also, make sure that when you post, you're putting the correct assignment. So like here, if you see over here, it says week 4B, make sure that you are putting week 4B and not like 1A or some other assignment. Okay, so make sure it matches. Make sure the titles match. Okay, and you'll see the title here at the top. You'll see it down here. You'll see it here. Just make sure all those things match up, okay? All right, so also quizzes. So every folder this week has a quizzes. So if we look here, let me go over to this week's assignments. Let me get that out of the way. So week 3, you'll notice that here's a quizzes. There's no Delta Math this week. There's a quizzes, and the last one does not have a quizzes. So instead of Delta Math this week, there's a worksheet posted for each day. So you'll notice there's a worksheet here as opposed to the Delta Math. Other weeks we'll have Delta Math, but this week we're using a worksheet, okay? So quizzes, when you guys do a quizzes, when you finish it, make sure it's 70% or more. Now remember, you can do them as many times as you want. You can do it over and over and over until you get it right. And the way it's set up is that it'll give you a chance to get, you guys have done them. It'll give you a chance to like redeem some of your questions to get your score up. But either way, make sure when you post it that your name is showing. So here, right when you finish the quiz, you'll see your name here, the percent. That's what I want to see. Okay, so make sure you guys are doing that. You can always go back to quizzes if you forget and get that score if you forget to post that. But make sure that is what is posted, okay, when you complete those. Okay, so each week, you guys are going to see Delta Math reviews. And so for instance, here at the top, the very first thing is a Delta Math review, which you'll have like 1 or 2 questions of different things. It's like simple things like multiplication tables, just doing simple multiplying, practicing combining like terms, going back to stuff that was from week 1. So you'll have that. That does not mean you need to do it all in the beginning of the week though, okay? And you're gonna notice here, if you look at the due date, it says Friday. So every Friday, those are due. So that means you have 5 days to complete those. You don't need to do it like all on Monday or all on Tuesday, okay? So I would suggest, like I wrote here, do 5 problems a day. Try to get 5 correct each day. So by today, you should have 10 done because everything gets posted starting Monday. Remember, that's the start of the school week, not just Tuesday when everybody starts to show up for school. So make sure you guys are looking out for that stuff on Monday. So yeah, do a little bit each day and then make sure and you'll see the due date right there. I always post the due date right next to the folder or the assignment. Make sure you're paying attention to that so that you're doing that, not overdoing it, okay? But those will always be due Friday, okay? I know this one says due Sunday because that's an old picture, okay? But that was from like last quarter, so don't worry about that. It's good, they're always due Friday. Okay, discussions. Now discussions, this week there are no discussions. In the future weeks there will be, but I just want to clarify some things. Always make sure you're answering the questions fully. Like read through all the questions and make sure you answered it. Also make sure you're replying properly because there's 2 parts. You got to answer it and then reply. Okay, and the reply is not just, hey, I agree. Every once in a while I will do that, but most of the time I'm going to try not to do that because that just, why just sit there and say I agree? Oh, great. Now, if you say I disagree and you have an explanation why, or you have a longer explanation of why you agree, that's different, okay? But if all you say is just, I agree, then that's not what we're looking for. And here specifically, you'll see that I'm asking for a certain type of answer for the reply. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Look at the reply. Here it says, you must solve someone else's equation, not just say you agree with it or what they said. Also, make sure you're posting videos. I will give you, I'm going to talk about an option that you guys can do instead of posting a video of your face, because I know some of you guys are like posting videos like this, and it's like, that kind of defeats the point. So I have another option for you guys if you're doing that. Okay, so, but again, make sure you're posting whatever's asked, because sometimes it's not a video. Sometimes it's like a screenshot or a picture of your work that you did on paper, okay? Okay, so here, this was the question, what's my mistake? So you're looking at this particular problem, which, by the way, the answer to this, the mistake was, a lot of you guys figured it out, that you notice I'm canceling the 2x and I'm canceling the 5 all on the same side of the equation. But I'm not supposed to cancel terms, 2 terms on the same side. I should only cancel 1 on each side. So here, if I do, let's say, minus 2x and minus 2x, then I should probably add 11, not subtract 5, okay? And that's a common mistake I see, because a lot of you guys were like, oh, you didn't make a mistake. Because if you actually did it right, you would still get the same answer. But the problem is that a lot of times you don't end up with the right answer when we make that mistake. Okay, so that's what the issue was here. You shouldn't be canceling this 2x and the 5, okay? The other way to do it would be subtract 7x from both sides and then add 5 or subtract 5 from both sides, okay? All right, so here's an example. Here's someone who did a good explanation. Now, this particular explanation, please look at your scores, because sometimes you're not answering the question fully, and I will put that in your score, okay? And you can always go back and change it. I'm totally fine with you guys resubmitting to basically get your points back for scores. The only thing you can't resubmit for is a quiz, okay? Everything else, if you want to redo ed puzzles, you want to redo your math assignments, you can do that. The quiz at the end of each folder, that is a one attempt, okay? And then here's a good reply. The question was, please reply to basically solve someone else's equation. So that's one good example. Here's another one. It was a good explanation. And then here's how somebody replied. They took a picture of their notes solving that person's equation. Okay, so here's the same thing kind of zoomed up. All right, so that's a good example of a good reply. Okay, now screencast. If you don't like posting videos of your face, which I get it, here's another option. Okay, so what I did in Schoology, in that first folder that's called class intro, I also named it help info. Anytime I add something that's kind of like a help video, I'm going to put it in there. Okay, something that helps you with the class. So like here's a video that explains how the class goes, everything about it. Sign up for Remind, Delta Math, assignment due date and credit policy. So when stuff is due, how much credit you're getting. And then right here, this explains how to make a screencast. Basically all you're doing is recording your screen. So like, let's say you worked out a problem, you took a picture and you uploaded it, okay? So I could put that picture here on the screen and then talk about it. So for instance, let's see if I can pull one up here. Something recent. All right, I'm just gonna kind of pull up something random here. Probably not that one. Let me see if I got something here I can use. All right, so let's say I do this. Let's see if I can get this up there. Oh, looks like I gotta go to this screen. All right, here we go. So let's just say I'm like I'm using this, and I don't know what feature you guys would use. But I'm explaining this problem like, okay, in this problem, I'm going to basically go through and explain it. So what you do to get first set up, and I explained this in the video, by the way, is you go to Chrome Web Store. So just type Web Store, go to Chrome Web Store, and what you're looking for is Screencastify. Okay, you're going to basically upload this, add this one, and you'll see the little add button here. Add that to your browser. Once that's set up, all you have to do is click on this little button here to the top right. Click on that, and then it'll already be set up and ready to go. Just make sure you click desktop, record. If you want a webcam, you can of your face, which obviously you guys are probably trying to avoid, so you can always turn that off if you want. Or you could just close it when you get started. So here, it gives you a countdown. Here's the little video. By the way, I can just close this little video if I want to. And then I'll go back over here and go, okay, guys, so Mr. Osborne, the way I solve this is that I'm going to multiply the first equation by 3. Okay, and that's how I'm going to set up my next equation, which is going to be -9, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I go back to that screen, and then right here, I can click pause or stop. Or if I click on that same button up here, I can stop the recording wherever I stop. And now here's the video. So now I've got the video. It's already ready to go. I can post that. You can share this link, which gets saved to your Google Drive. So you literally just make sure this is public though, because if it's not, or actually don't do public, do unlisted, this one, or unlisted at GUHSD. That way only people who are a part of school can see it, okay? Click that link and then post it to your discussion. And if you want to see all the details, just go ahead and watch this video, okay? So that's another option for you guys if you guys want to do a screencast instead of recording your face. All right, and they're pretty easy once you get to know how to do it. They're pretty quick. I do them all the time for you guys. I send you guys videos. They take me like a minute, okay? All right, so next thing, late policy. Okay, so folders are due Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of each week at 11:59. If you turn it in by Sunday of that week, 75% credit. So most assignments are 4 points. You'll get 3 points instead. If it's after Sunday, you get 50% credit, which is basically 2 points. Now, that applies to homework assignments, like practice assignments like Delta Math, quizzes, IXL, worksheets, discussions. But if it's an Edpuzzle or any of the weekly quizzes that are at the end of each folder, those are always full credit. Okay, so for some of you guys, you might be like, oh, like, I want to take my time to do the quiz because I only get 1 attempt. And some of you guys are feeling pressure like, oh, I got to get it done on Tuesday. You don't have to get it done on Tuesday. You can still study for that quiz and just get the homework done. Study for that quiz until you're ready, okay? The Edpuzzles, those, I always want you guys to get notes. So I'm encouraging you guys by always offering full credit no matter when you do that. If you want to redo it because you got a bad score, just tell me and I'll reset it for you, okay? Depending on what that is. All right. And again, if you guys have questions, just please feel free to ask them right now, or as I'm going. You can always stop at any moment here. Okay, so on that note, checking for zeros. So please check your grades, okay? Now that over the next couple of days, you're gonna start seeing your grades pop up more on Infinite Campus because everything's starting to sync and I'm getting everything kind of uploaded there. So more and more you're gonna see those grades, but you can always see them on Schoology. If you guys go over to the left here in your grade book, you can, or grades, you'll get this screen right here, which will show every assignment for the class. And then look for these comments right here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for all those zeros, if you turn them in, will it...
It's not just for being late or not doing it. okay? Okay, so it could be the wrong screenshot. You might have posted something that's not even the assignment that was asked for. It could be the assignment was incomplete, like you didn't finish it. Just correct it and then resubmit, okay? And now if it's incomplete and submitted late, you'll get late credit. Let me delete that because that's kind of an old policy. All right. So if it's late, it just depends. Now, let's say you were like super close to finishing. You only have one more question to go and you just didn't do that one question. I'm going to give you a 0. All you need to do is do that one question and I'll give you full credit. Now, if you submit it and it's like half done or less than half, I probably won't give you full credit, but I'll at least give you late credit for that assignment, okay? All right, grades on Infinite Campus, what they look like. What do they mean? Okay, so in Infinite Campus, you're gonna see different composites. You'll see composite 1, grade 1, 2, 3. Each of those, and some of you guys are used to this by now, each of those is a week. So like composite grade 1 is week 1. Then grades 2 is week 2, week 3, 4, and so on. Okay, all the way through week 9. So every quarter is 9 weeks. All of those grades that you get for each week, we take the average of that, and that becomes your final grade that you'll see here. And make sure you're always looking at odd, because right now in quarter 3, we're the odd grades. Okay, so you want to look right there. That'll tell you what your overall grade is in the moment. Okay, so don't you might be wondering like, well, which one's my grade? It's the one right here that's next that says final. Okay. Now in your guys' Infinite Campus, it looks different. This is what it looks like on my end. If you click on these composites, it'll open up each one. So for instance, here's composite 3. The first part is like ed puzzles, then here's assignments, and then here's what I mean, there'll be notes. So there should be notes for every 0 you have. The only time there might not be a note is if it's a quiz. If you have a 0 on a quiz, that's just because you got the questions wrong, not because of some other issue, okay? But all the homework assignments, you'll either see like missing or some kind of note, like here, you need to post a pic of your work. Complete this and resubmit. Okay, so that's one example. Here's another example. It might say missing. That just means it never was turned in. Or here, this was an IXL assignment. The person didn't get enough points to finish the assignment. So I put, you must get 75 points. Complete, then resubmit. So if somebody had like 69 points out of 75, I would probably give them full credit once they turn it back in, okay? Now, if they only have 20 points, I probably would give them the late credit, okay? Last thing, Photomath. All right, now Photomath, let me share a different screen. Let's go to the camera. Now, Photomath, when you use Photomath, it does not give you a full explanation of the problem. It gives you some, but not all. So like for instance, for this problem we're about to go over. Let's see if I can get it lined up. It might actually read my handwriting. Oh, it did. Okay, so it gives me the answer, 4, 4. So before we even start, we already know the answer. All right, now, oh, you guys over here can't see it, sorry. Hold on. Let me switch up here. Okay, so it gives me some of the answer, but not the full answer. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me these steps. It's going to say, okay, substitute the value of 2y, explain the steps. Okay, so, and I think it actually gives you like different methods, like elimination. You can solve elimination or substitution. The only thing with it is it doesn't explain everything. And what happens a lot of times with students is like, you guys basically copy this. And like all the steps that were taught in the videos are not there. And then it's super obvious as a teacher to figure out, oh, they must have used a math website or Photomath. And I know most of the websites. And I know what they look like. I know how they explain. Like I saw one video in the first quiz where you guys had to explain it out loud, and somebody literally read off the explanation on Photomath, and so I knew right away that that was Photomath. So don't do it, because you're going to get a 0, and if you get a 0 for doing Photomath, like copying, you don't get to resubmit it. So there's no resubmit. That's just 0, whether it's a quiz. Well, quiz you only get 1 temp anyways, and you'll get a 0. There's no like retake for that. And any assignment, you won't get to redo it. So just don't do that, okay? If you're having trouble with assignment, please just reach out to me and let me help you, okay? Also, don't wait last minute till like Sunday or Saturday to do the assignments when I'm not available, and then you're kind of on your own, okay? I'm available all throughout the week, okay? I'm gonna have Zoom open 3 days, so you guys have that option as well, okay? So again, don't do that. Okay, so let me go back to my other screen. Okay, so again, Mathway was another one. There's a whole bunch of them, okay? All right, that's it. Does anyone have questions in class, at home? Any guys? You guys on here? Oh, let me stop the recording since